where can I be wrong? Where can I lose?
Yeah.
So that I can talk to the court about those and explain why I don't lose, right?
Be quiet, kid. Let me have a drink.
I have like a vision and I know where I'm going.
She would eat her own young if it meant getting to the top.
In this episode, we dig into taking the leap from big law, finding your lane, and what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Welcome to part 2 with Katey Anderson on Verdicts Vogue with Cristina Perez Hesano.
So with that, with hitting it out of the park, knowing that, okay, first year, you get this case and you hit a home run. How did it make you feel knowing that you accomplished this, what I think is a huge feat, within a year of practicing in the personal injury space?
Well, I know I couldn't have done that without you. I mean, that wasn't a me thing. That was an us thing. Like we killed that together.
Oh, do you want to like do a little heart thingy?
with my that was great. I mean, it was so validating for the client, because he was really hurt, man.
Yeah.
He was not like, it wasn't like, oh, this happened and I walk with a limp. No.
It was a shooting case.
It was a shooting.
That one thought that no one wanted that case.
And he was a baby. These young men, we have a lot of young men clients, and it's, that's just, it feels so good to do right by them. Because I think a lot of times, young men, in particular men, are overlooked in things like that, where they have injuries and when there's,
they're playing it tough and so forth. Yeah,
exactly.
that was a good resolution.
It was a really good result for him. And I think, it was, and it was also so interesting and so fun. Just the different.
But on that case, it was the liability part. Like that was you figuring out the other theories of liability of how this company could be held liable, right? Mm-hmm. So you were able to figure out, and you threw in at the last minute before we filed that case,
dram shop,
which is what got us in.
Yeah. That was
a good move by you.
That was a fun, super interesting and really fun to research and come up with. And like something like that dram shop, like there's case law, but it's like kind of.
And for those who don't know what dram shop is, please explain what dram shop is.
If you overserve, you can be held liable.
Exactly. If someone causes an accident, you overserve that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's elements, like in some cases it applies, in some cases it doesn't. It has to be closer, not as far away.
Sure.
But yeah, we were able to bring that case within the dram shop statutes and the existing case law. And I think that's what really pushed it over the edge.
I do too. With the point that they couldn't refuse it, even though they did dick us around. Yes. And I say the word dick us around, it's because they really did. At the end, even though we had the resolution and even though they accepted our offer of judgment, they still decided to wait and drag their feet for a couple of months until I had to bring them back to court. And that's when that's when I took over that part, right?
Yeah.
And so that was so funny because we were like on our way to Sedona and I had to pull over and get dropped off at the hotel so that I can do my hearing before the judge and be like, hey, make them pay in this way.
And that is so different than anything I've ever done before, because I have not worked with attorneys or defendants, plaintiffs, whatever, the other side, who doesn't just do what they're supposed to do.
Oh,
it's so astoundingly unethical. I'm just like, what is going on? How are you? Why? And it's constant. It's like every case.
Every case.
It's so crazy to me. That's something I had never experienced before in all these, like.
Well, for those who are listening, I mean, we should talk. So growing up, like when I say growing up as a baby attorney. So growing up as a newer attorney in the bankruptcy realm, it's very different because there's only, a certain number of attorneys who work in the bankruptcy realm and we all know each other, right? So I grew up going into the courts and we all kind of looked after each other, even when, of course, there's a few people who will remain nameless that are jerk-offs, but they still, we all watched each other. And the judges knew us and we know everyone. And so it comes from a really collegial space where if you have a case with them today, you're going to have a case with them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or if not tomorrow, next week. Right. And you should better get along because there's not a lot of attorneys.
Yeah. Yeah. No, when I was in my second, third year, and I was arguing and I'm there in front of the court and, I would do whatever. I remember like vividly one case where the judge was like, well, what about this? And I was like, hold on, I was just reading about that. And I grabbed my bankruptcy code and I started chatting with her about it. And we just like got into it. And I go to leave. And one of the other lawyers who had been like waiting for his turn stopped me. And he was like, you handled that so well. He's like, good job. Always do that. Just talk to the judge, he's like, that was amazing. And he wasn't in my case. He had no reason to be being nice to me, you know, but that's just like, that's the bankruptcy world.
Yeah.
And yeah, even nationally, when I started doing national bankruptcy cases, it's still just a small environment.
Oh yeah. I just did, so I think I did my last public speaking engagement for bankruptcy. I've decided that I wasn't going to do that. I only did that because a judge kind of said, hey, you should do it. And I was like, okay, fine. Cause he was on the panel. But I needed help on a particular issue where you had, I mean, not to nerd out, but in order, someone took actions that were not good and misappropriated funds. And so in order for them, they filed bankruptcy. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to eat into their homestead exemption. And what that means is the protection of the house. And so every debtor, every person who files bankruptcy has a protection on the house. But if they have a claim for fraud or some type of misfeasance and so forth, then you have the ability to get rid of that or lower it to the federal allowance, which is a lot lower than Arizona, because Arizona's $400,000 and the federal, I think, is like 189 or I haven't stayed up to date on it. But anyway, so I asked someone, hey, what's this? They sent me all their pleadings. This is how you do it. Followed up to see if I was okay. And, you know, and we were able to, we didn't have to end up using it because we got the person dismissed anyway. But in that kind of, that doesn't happen in a lot of settings, right? So
it doesn't. But I found the plaintiff's bar is really collegial.
Yeah,
that's a good group of people. I've really enjoyed that so far. But the Arizona plaintiff's bar is cool, and I'm sure nationally the same thing.
Yeah, it depends on the group, but yeah, I would think so. There's a lot of different plaintiffs law groups, plaintiffs attorney groups, but here for Arizona Association of Justice, which is the one that you're part of, right? That you're on their listserv, and especially like the women's group and so forth. I've learned that they have, like, we've made a conscious effort to really help one another. And you can always find someone to ask a question to. Like I always say, Frances Lynch, she's out down in Tucson, and she's partners with Pilar Mendoza.
Yeah,
now.
I had lunch with Pilar when I was in Tucson. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So Frances Lynch, I call her my legal fairy godmother. There doesn't matter what it is. If there's a topic or a pleading or something that I need, she will provide it. Like she'll have it, or she'll give me an idea of like how to go about it. So if it's something that's difficult, she'll be like, oh, here it is, or let me help you here, or you should do this. And so she's really been a big support system for myself. Yeah. So have you, being new to this, well, I don't know about new. It's a year now.
Like a year and a half.
Year and a half.
And it's not new because I knew how to litigate before I got it, right?
Yeah,
but it's new to this.
Yeah. And I was telling my dad about you, talking about my dad.
Oh, your dad's so cute. I
was talking to my dad about you the other day, right? That was like 3 sentences in one. I was talking to my dad about you the other day and telling him about the fantastic job you did on this drowning case that we have, right? I know. Without getting into the specific facts of the drowning case that we actually have mediation with next week, I was telling him that you managed to take all of the state statutes and deal with the experts and just kind of jump in. And I think it's because I know it's because of your strong litigation background that you were able to just take whatever material and then just be able to condense it and use it and apply it to your case, right? So, but I was really impressed with that.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, no, it's taken me a lot longer. I don't think I process information the same way or as fast as you do. You have a skill.
I don't know I think I'm slow. I'm very slow.
You do?
It takes me a long time.
Really?
Yeah, but I put the time in because I know that I'll get there.
Yeah.
But like every issue, I was telling my boyfriend about this. I'm like, everything I have to like figure out what the law is, figure out all the facts, figure out all the things, and figure out all my errors, like right, where can I be wrong, where can I lose, so that I can talk to the court about those and explain why I don't lose, right? And I have to like really deep dive into it. So I feel like it takes me forever.
Oh, see, I feel like that's me. I get into rabbit holes. Like, so like same thing with like when it comes to packing. Like I am the worst packer in the world because here's what I do every single time, and I travel a lot. I take out all these outfits that are potentials, right? But what happens is I take out, let's say for the three-day conference, I take out 20 different outfits, potentials that I can, plus workout clothes because I have to work out while I go away. Plus like, just in case stuff, to the point that I get to a point where I'm like, man, that's a lot of information to process. That's a lot of clothes to process. How do I narrow this down? And I have to give credit to Chris, who then comes in and says, okay, Friday, you're going to wear 2 outfits, day outfit, night outfit. Which one do you want? And then I'm like, okay, I'll take this one. And then I'm like, okay, night out. I'm like, okay. And then in like 30 minutes, it's like I have everything. But I have to go through that whole research process first.
Yeah. Packing for you, work for me. I think I'd rather be that way with packing than
But I do that for work too. Like for research, it's the same thing. Like I will take all this information, even to like a fault, and like go into like some random crazy statute that had happened like years ago before like Arizona was Arizona.
I know.
And then try to break it down. And sometimes I think it's an impediment, especially if you have a lot of like timelines and deadlines and things. Because I can research stuff all day. It's not the best use of our time either. So it's like a balance, I think.
It's a balance, and you have to figure out, kind of, but also the nice thing about it is like, once you have it, it's not going anywhere.
That's true too.
Like I'm going to trial in this case in January, and I did that. I spent a ton of time, and I was just like, this is crazy. I've put so much time into this case and so much thought, and, but man, I know those statutes, and I know that it's just a statutory thing. So it's like, I've read every single case that's ever been published in Arizona about this statute. It's not huge. It's pretty limited, but it's like, it's not going anywhere. Yeah. And I know it. And so if I end up in court, and I have to talk to the judge about it, I'm cool. Let's do it.
Sure.
I don't have to prepare for that hearing. I'll just show up.
When's your trial?
It's a whole week. It's a full week at the moment because it's a jury trial.
Okay.
It's an advisory jury, which I had never heard of before.
What is an advisory jury? I don't think I've heard of it before.
Yeah. If you have an equitable claim.
Oh, I have heard of it. Okay. Yeah.
Like quiet title.
Yes. Is this a quiet title claim?
It's a quiet title claim.
Those are so annoying. I have one too right now. I took a pro bono.
Oh, I'll share my file with you. It's quiet title. So you get a quiet title. Mm-hmm. So you get an advisory jury who.
Quiet title means a person is requesting that the title of a property be cleared of any liens that exist on that property or any interests of people because either they don't rightfully own it or they shouldn't have owned it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they have some kind of encumbrance. You know, they're trying to bring an action. Mm-hmm. If you think of a title to a property as like a physical document, a cloud on title is anything that kind of covers that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's an equitable claim, which is interesting because it's just strange. But it requires an advisory. It allows you to have an advisory jury who then, I guess, tells the judge like what they think, even though the judge ultimately makes the decision.
That's so weird.
The problem with it, like I have no issue with having an advisor, fine, but it's so expensive for my client.
Yes.
Because the judge was like, cool, I'm going to do this, this, and this. It's going to be half a day. We're going to be in and out. I'm going to roll. Mm-hmm. And I was like, perfect. I can do that. I'm going to give you a really smoking bench memo. You're going to have, all the law in front of you. You'll hear from my client. You'll hear from opposing side. You'll be done. You'll roll. It'll be done. But now it's 5 days.
Wow.
So it's
and you have to pick a jury.
We have to pick a jury.
Oh, can I pick a jury with you?
Yeah. You want to come?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it with you. Depending on what it is, I'm helping on a trial advocacy class, a mock trial that I'm serving as, I can't remember what I'm serving, like a corporate rep or something like that for.
That's cool. A district court?
No, it's like this group that I'm part of, an organization. They do all this. I served on it and I had like these 2 amazing attorneys be my trial coaches, Amy Gunn out of St. Louis and Thad Lorado out of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And they actually helped me take a products liability case. Like it's like a fake case, but it's a real case. It's like a focus group.
Right.
They help me take the case and then take it all the way to closing. And so we mock a trial on real facts, on real evidence, and then they critique you along the way. Yeah. So I did that, and that was like the best experience. So ever since then, I've decided, okay, I'm going to, every year that they do it, I'm going to help in one way or another. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm at the point yet, especially with these guys are giants, right? So I'm not going to be at the coach level, but definitely like assistant level and helping. Like, so I'm helping for like the other parts. We're doing collision avoidance technology case this time around, which is pretty cool. That's the group that I keep telling you that you need to join.
The trucking one? Is that the trucking one?
No, I mean, they do trucking. They have a trucking component, but Attorney Information Exchange Group, AIEG, started with the Pinto cases. Okay. I love that group. I mean, they've really helped me as an attorney grow my career and so forth, which is kind of why I keep trying to bring you along. Yeah. Also, because then I can travel with you when you go. Right. And then
I can travel with you.
So we can have fun together and all these drinks. And they always have like cool destinations that they go to. So.
That's fun.
So I'll be doing that. But tell me when your trial is, and I will help you pick a jury.
I will put it on your calendar.
There.
Yeah. Even if you just come for the jury part, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just to figure that out. Yeah. I mean, hopefully the judge, I moved to, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's no jury trial and the judge.
Did you move
rules.
to try to get rid of the advisory jury?
Yeah, I did.
Do they have a right to an advisory jury, or is that just like an election? Meaning, is it mandatory, or do the parties have to stipulate to this advisory rule?
Unclear. No, the advisory rule, I think it's a right.
It's a right? Okay.
Yeah, unless you waive it. So.
The thing is like, what does it really benefit everyone? Like, it's just
no, it's just a waste of money. That's the whole point of it, is to get people to spend more money, and then yeah.
I like Katey so much because she brings a different perspective to my life. Right? Is that you do?
I think that's true.
So it's like a yin and a yang, right? So I am technically, how I see myself, extremely kind of type A, nervous, anxious, don't like people. Not that I don't like people. I just have a difficult time, or I need time after speaking with a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. Like I don't do well in like large crowds. I try to avoid large crowds. If I'm there, and which people are always like, oh, well, you handle it so well. Yeah. Yeah, but then I have to like recuperate. It takes me like 4 hours to like recuperate from like a 2-hour shindig. And then you, on the other hand, are so kind of like welcoming and open, and you don't give a crap about like what you say. And you're just like, you're just like kind of so, I don't know. I think it's because you're so authentic, to be honest with you.
Isn't that the word?
Authentic?
Some people find it like, some people find it like abhorrent. Like there's a lot of people that can't handle me.
Okay, for those who are listening and don't know what the word abhorrent means, what does that mean?
That's my word of the week. I've said that a lot recently. But some people just find it like repulsive. They're just like, what is wrong with her? And why is she like that? Why is she so? And
I love it. The only time that it gets to be too much is when, maybe, allegedly, if we have had too many cocktails, our volume gets too high, right? Where like it sounds like kind of like my New York accent comes out. Right. I saw the meme you sent me. Yay!
And my Spanish accent comes out, and all of a sudden,
it's like a New Yorker and a Spanish speaker are just talking.
You always know you're in trouble if I'm talking to you in Spanish. I need to go home. I've had too much to drink.
Yeah. So someone the other day asked me like, "Oh, really? Were you that like intoxicated?" Like I'm not a person that really gets like really sloppy drunk. I'm not. It's just not me. But I think I think in my older years, I don't hold my alcohol as well as I did. I'm not a big rager. I don't go out and like drink crazy amounts. But I do know if I have too many cocktails, you will not be able to tell that I'm intoxicated. Sometimes I start dancing a little bit where I shouldn't be. But someone said to me like, "Oh, really? Were you intoxicated? I didn't even." Were you that intoxicated? I'm like, yes, I was. I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this whole thing.
That's a gift we share, my friend.
I know.
I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but it is.
I'm going to say, it's good because we don't make fools out of ourselves. It's bad because we can say we have that gift. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I've been trying to avoid accessing the gift in the recent past, but.
I know. Well, I've calmed down. I try. Like I've started to avoid any type of alcoholic spirits during the week. I try not to, even on the weekends too. I think it's more because of my kiddos too. Like my daughter, which is kind of like your middle child. Yeah. My daughter is a spitting image of your middle child. Right. Rule follower, likes the right and wrong. And so if I order a glass of wine, okay, just wine during dinner, she'll look at me like, "Do you need that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do, girl."
Yes. You don't know about my day. I need it really bad.
She's like, "Do you really?" I go, "Isn't alcohol bad for you, mommy?" And I'm like, "Oh." So I stopped ordering. I stopped even ordering like a glass of wine during dinner when I'm with my kiddos because I'm like, I don't want them seeing that. Gotta be a good mama. Not that it's bad if you have a couple of drinks, but if my kids think it's bad, I don't want to be like, be quiet, kid. Let me have a drink.
I know. That's a hard balance. Kids just messing with our lives.
Oh, but they bring such good joy to our lives too.
They do. It's so fun. And now like kind of moving into this next era, like I have a stepson who's 30 and he's got a little boy who's
you're like a step grandmother.
So I'm kind of like, the baby's my grandson's real grandmother is younger than I am. But he's
Wow.
so cute. I love it. And then like my boyfriend's daughter has little girls, and it's so different. It's so fun.
Well, you're really good with babies. We should tell that story about our deposition.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell us.
We had a client being deposed, and she just had a baby not too long ago. I think the baby's like 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
She was
maybe.
about 6 weeks old when we had it. Yeah.
She was little. And the client was like, I got to bring the baby. I was like, okay.
She had to bring the baby because she has trauma associated with leaving her child because her child passed away in the care of someone else.
And I said to Cristina, I go, oh, she's going to bring the baby tomorrow. Christina's like, yeah, okay, fine. I go, cool. We'll take turns holding it. And Cristina goes,
I don't know about that.
oh, no, I'm not holding the baby. I was like, what? She's like, you're defending. And I was like, yeah, cool. I'm going to defend. That'll be great. So then we get there.
Well, it's because I can't, here's the deal. When babies are really little, they're so squirmy. They make me nervous. I don't know what it is.
She was not a squirmy baby. She was just sitting there sleeping.
Every baby's squirmy for me. Every baby's squirmy for me. I wish I was better. I wish I was like you when it comes to kids. You're like such nurturer. Like you grabbed that baby, you scooped her up, and she was a cute baby.
And so I defended the deposition holding the baby right here next to her mom. Just like this.
Because every time Cristina
took her, she'd start crying. I think she needed this. Maybe she just needed to be closer to her mom. Maybe it wasn't a Cristina problem.
Maybe she needed to be away from my cold heart.
Oh,
but you know what? It was the first time we've ever. And that deposition lasted for like 7 hours. That was a long depo.
It was a long,
and that was a good ass baby. She was good. She would behave herself.
Yeah,
she was like. I felt bad for
you can tell she's
her.
Loved.
Yeah, she could tell she was really loved. And that deposition was the first deposition I've ever had where I am holding a baby, even if it was for a little before she cried. Because as soon as she cried, I passed it over to Katey. But I was holding a baby and I'm like, man, we're doing a deposition with this and we're going to get this done. I can't say I've ever had a situation like that where before today.
I hadn't either, except for like, law school, right? Because my Lucy was 3 weeks old when I went to law school.
Yeah.
So I did. It's funny. It was like reminiscent because I remember taking my torts class my first year. And for whatever reason, there was like a lot of reading. I remember reading about Magic Johnson and his whole AIDS thing and all that stuff while I was holding Lucy. And I read it to her out loud, like to help me remember. And I went through it with her. And so I did law school with a little baby. But I hadn't, since then, I really hadn't had a baby. I don't think, and I'm doing this women's panel in March, and I don't ever tell people that I have kids.
Why? Why do you think that is?
I think I'm like, I was discriminated against, right? Like it's not,
that sounds
kids? Like dramatic, but.
No, I could see that.
I was passed up for a job or two because I had kids and other people didn't.
Well, I waited to have kids because, one, I didn't want to have kids because I thought that I wasn't mom material. I wasn't going to. Like I was always going to love my job more than love my kids. I was afraid about that. So for me, I was like, oh no, I don't have kids. Someone once described me as she's the type of person that would eat her young she would eat her own young if it meant getting to the top. I'm not kidding you. I will never forget this. This is before terrible. I had kids. Yeah, someone described me like that. And you know what? Kids have softened me up. They have. I mean, you've known me before kids and then after kids, but yeah, so it is, I guess it's different. We have different perspectives from that. Like you got passed over for jobs. I really thought that you couldn't have I was told you couldn't have a good business and then be a good mom. And so I held off to being a mom until I learned that I couldn't be a mom. And then once a doctor was like, oh, you have no follicles because now you're geriatric. You'd be a geriatric pregnancy at 35. I was like, oh, screw that. Now we're going to do everything we can in order to have a baby.
You're like, you're going to tell me I can't? I'm 100% going to do that.
I don't deal with no.
Yeah.
I don't deal with no. I figure out like what's the solution.
Yeah. And you have the most amazing kids. So
they're good kiddos. So do you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're doing something, right?
We're getting there. Figure it out.
Oh, all right. So we've ended up at the first year mark, right? 1 year in June, now a year and a half. I have my anniversary bracelet that you've bought me.
Yes.
Which is probably, I know. I love it. So this is one of my favorite jewelers, by the way. I love his stuff. Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
So I wear it every day and I love this. It just because I'm happy that you took that leap of faith and went out on your own, moved away from the big law and like the big ivory tower. Do you feel like you've made it, like that you made the right decision?
Yeah, I do. And I love it. And I actually have, for the first time in my entire career, which is crazy because I've been doing this over a decade, I have like a vision and I know where I'm going. And I think the thing with doing this as opposed to doing that, you know, they're both great, but this vision that I have, I control.
Yeah.
Right. So it's based on what I do. Whereas
Sure.
that was based on, okay, I can do all these things, but who knows what's going to happen.
Well,
right?
you were always, I mean, working for someone else, you'll always be pushing their vision.
Exactly.
You'll always be helping them get ahead.
Right.
Now you're the master of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And I mean, not for nothing. I mean, we have some cases that are coming up this year that are life-changing for our clients. I mean, it's not even funny to think about if we are able to if we're able to do what I think we can do for our clients, I mean, it is something to be super proud of. And I couldn't do it without you.
No. Oh.
Nah,
I'm sure you could. You'd be killing it without me, but I like it that
I'm being sentimental and vulnerable with you, Katey.
Aw. Yeah, we're very complimentary. Like even that, you know, the deposition with the baby, it was so good because we had all the pieces, right? Like we had the deposition part, and then we had to like call the court and argue about things.
Oh yeah, we did. We had a discovery dispute right there,
yes.
and
it was great with the baby in the room.
Yeah, gave it to the counsel, and I won. Well, we won.
You won. No, you killed it. You argued that. You were all over it. I was, you know, we were arguing. We're holding the baby, arguing with the other side, like.
But you know what? You did the research. I argued the research. Yeah. You did the research. I argued the research, and then we won. And the judge is like, "Sorry, can't say that. Can't talk about that." And
it was great.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
And that was just like a perfect example of how like complimentary we are. Because because you have like knowledge of things that I don't know about, and then I just have that deep passion for the law, which is super dorky. But I really like it.
I like that. I think it's heartwarming. It is.
It's something. I mean, it's a good fit for me, right? There's so many lawyers that like hate lawyering and they're resentful and they hate their career and their life. And I'm just like, man, I love it. I think because I had maybe the previous career. I don't know. Being
a teacher.
Yeah, the teacher thing.
I think that fits you really well because you have an ability to kind of break things down where others don't, right? Yeah. Because you have that teaching aspect. Yeah. But all right, we have reached that time. Ready? Rapid fire questions.
Oh, okay.
I may throw in. No, I'm not going to throw in any bad questions. I'm going to ask. I'm going to stick to the script. Do you trust your gut or double check everything?
Gut and double check.
What makes you instantly like someone?
Their laugh.
What made you continue and being patient to become my friend? That's not on the script.
Oh, how come I had to keep chipping away?
Yeah, what made you?
I knew you would be my friend. I knew I liked you. I was like, she's going to be my friend. I'm going to make her.
You just knew that I'd be a good friend?
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell you're a good human. Even though you're trying to hide it. Like, don't look at me.
Such an ice queen. So cold. Oh. Would your younger you be impressed or concerned?
Oh, impressed.
Yeah. Why do you think that?
I was a hot mess, dude. I was wild. My poor mother.
Oh, I mean, I'm not even getting into what my parents thought. Yeah. My dad, when I graduated from law school, was like, instead of saying, "Hey, congratulations," he was like, "I didn't think you'd make it." That's it. I was there. It was in ASU in the old campus. And he was like, "You know what? Good." He goes, "I questioned it a couple times. I knew you could do it, but I was worried if you could." I'm like, "Okay, Daddy, thank you."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What do you chase?
Knowledge.
What calms you instantly?
Home.
Who sees the real you?
You, Nate, the kids. Most people, actually.
You're pretty.
Yeah.
You get what you. I was gonna say you're pretty. You see what you get what you see. Or you see what you get.
What you see. Yeah.
And what feels like progress to you?
Winning.
What motivates you on hard days?
I don't know. Money.
Where do you see Kathryn Anderson Law in the next year? Last question.
Yeah, in the next year, I see growing the personal injury and the complex litigation, growing the bank work as well, and just continuing on this path of growth.
So does that also mean that for our 2nd year anniversary, I have to buy you the present?
Yes, you have to buy me something really nice.
And expensive?
Yeah.
Like this
jewelry preferably.
So we've had jewelry along the way. We have the necklace. I always wear this.
Yes, I wear mine too.
Yeah, I wear this and I wear that. So,
and then I have our friendship bracelet that
our Tiffany
several
bracelet.
of us bankruptcy girls have. Yeah,
mine broke. That's why I don't wear it anymore. I still have it, but I don't have a little heart piece on the bracelet. But with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friend and for believing in the cause. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And for those who are out there, thanks for listening. Till next time. Cheers, girl.